So good morning, students. Today's our topic is importance and process of HRM. So before I start, I will give you a brief about HRM, human resource management. That human resource management is a management which use human resources to accomplish the goal of the organization. And why it is important, that is our today topic. Strategy. First topic, what is important is strategy management. This is an important aspect of any organization and plays a vital role in human resource management. HR manager manages strategies to ensure the organization reach its business goals as well as significantly to the corporate decision making, which includes assessment for the current employees and prediction for future one based on the business demands. In this strategy management, they are saying that strategy management is an important aspect of any organization to make a strategy for the management as well as for HR manager managing the strategies to ensure that the organization reach its goal on time as well as it is also contributing significant to the decision making process and to the current employees their prediction for the future is based on the business demands. All the strategies made by the HRM, so it is important aspect of any organization to conduct. uh, Next point is benefit analysis. HR managers works toward reducing costs such as with recruitment and retention, and HR professionals are trained to conduct efficient negotiation with the potential and existing employees as well as being well versed with the employee benefits. They're likely to attract quality candidates and retaining the existing workforce. In this point, they are saying that HR managers always works toward the reducing the cost for the business, such as the recruitment and retention. Recruitment means when you're recruiting a new employee, and retention means when you are retaining your current employee, they will not leave your organization because it will also cost additional to the organization when you are recruiting someone new candidate in the business. So HR professionals are trained to conduct these type of negotiation with their employees and also give them some benefits that they are likely to attract quality candidates and retaining their existing workforce. For example, if a company has an employee which is having experience of 5 years in the company, the HR won't do that. He will leave the organization in the next year. He will give them some employee benefit that will attract uh, that the candidate will continue its work in the organization. Third point is training and development. Since HR manager contributes significantly to the training and development programs, they also play a pivotal role in strengthening the employer and employee relationship, and this contributes to the growth of employee within the company, hence enhancing employee satisfaction and productivity in the organization. Next point is interactivity within employees. The HR managers are responsible for conducting activities, events, and celebration in the organization, which gives a way to building opportunities. Moreover, it enhances interactivity within the employees and instills a sense of trust and respect among the peers. In this point, the interactivity within the employees is also important for HRM because if the employer is not interactivity with the employees, then the business think not a good way to build a opportunity for the new employees as well as for the existing employees, because there should be a interactivity between both employers and the employee. Next point is conflict management. The department to go when any kind of professional conflict arises between employees and HR, they ensure that issues and conflicts are resolved effectively. approaching the problem with an unbiased attitude and encouraging effective communication to reach to the solution. In addition, they help employees understand various ways of developing effective work relationship and the importance of not letting personal judgment affect their behavior. Establishing a healthy work culture. The next important point in the HRM is a healthy work culture, which is pivotal in bringing out the best in employees. HR managers contribute significantly in setting up a healthy and friendly work culture, which further translates into a better productivity among the employees. Because if HR is maintaining a good working culture in the organization, the all employees who work there will definitely having some motivation with them to do good work or motivated toward the work and complete their work on time. Next is compliance. HR professionals works toward making the organization compliant with employment laws as well as maintaining records of hiring process and applicants. In this point, they are saying that HR, who's HR of the company, is always work according to the employment rules, laws, which is made by the government, as well as maintaining records of hiring process and application, which is filed by the candidates when they are in the process of recruitment. So HR is important because if you have any issue, you can file a complaint in the according to the employment laws, and HR will look into this matter. So next is procurement. Procurement involves every activity in obtaining the goods and the services a company needs to support its daily operations, including sourcing, negotiating terms, purchasing items, receiving and inspecting goods as necessary, and keeping records of all the steps in process. This deals with the recruitment of manpower, their recruitment, selection, and placement, etc. And acquiring human sources is an important function of human resource management. Quality and prestige of the organization depends upon the employee of the organization. It deals with the determination of manpower requirement, recruitment, selection, placement, and the induction process of the candidate. Negotiating terms, purchasing items, receiving and accepting, as well as recruitment a new employee in the organization. All of it is done through the process of procurement. Next is placement. As you all already know, students, the placement is a process of assigning a specific job to one of the selected candidates. And in very simple words, we can say the placement means sending a newly employed person to some department for the work and assigning some specific rank and responsibility to the specific individual. It involves square pegs into square holes, that is matching the individual and the job. Correct placement is no way less important than the accurate selection. What is the role of HR manager? The first role of HR manager is recruitment. As we all know, the one of the most major responsibility of HR manager is to recruit a candidate, and the success of an organization largely depends upon the workforce you employed in the organization. So it is essential that the right people are hired for the right role which are looking for the job. The next point is learning and development. Learning is a continuous process and it is essential to enhance the employee's productivity. HR manager is responsible for the orientation and induction of new employees as well, the professional development of the existing employees. And they are responsible for strategizing the development programs. Furthermore, they must have the ability to identify and analyze the areas that employees need training for. Next point, building employee relationship. Effective employee relations go on a long way in boosting the productivity and contribute significantly to the organization's success. Employees relationship strategies are implemented to ensure that the organization caters to overall well-being of employees. It is an important part for HR managers to have a good relationship with their employees, because if their employee having any issue, they will directly come to the HR manager that this is a problem which I face. So please solve it. And if this process and these strategies are implemented, they will ensure that the organization is overall well-being for their employees to work. Next point is compensation and benefits. A major component of an HR manager's role is handling compensation and benefits, and they are responsible for devising compensation strategies, performance management systems, compensation structures, as well as negotiating pay and the benefit package with the potential employees. In this point, the HR manager is saying that plays important role in compensating and giving benefits to the employees, existing as well as the new employees. Because if you have to negotiate with the existing employer, because everybody wants appraisal every year, but a company can't afford to give appraisal to everybody in the same year. So they will negotiate in their pay and give them some compensatory benefits. For example, they will give them international tour of the family or these type of perks which will enhance their with the potential employees. Moving toward the next slide. Why we need HRM. HRP includes forces that are always changing, and such as employees getting sick, getting promoted, or going on vacation. HRP ensures there is best fit between workers and jobs, avoiding shortages, surpluses in the employee pool. Because without HRM, we can't ensure that this worker is best fit for our job. And avoiding surplus or shortages in the employee pool in the organization, that we need HRM in the business. To satisfy the objective, HR managers have to make certain plans to do the following. The first one is find and attract skilled employees, which is best fit for your organization, and select, train, and reward the best candidate from the existing pool. If you are giving all of the department some trainings, for example, you're giving training to the sales department, and there are 10 salesmen, and you are giving training all of them. So you have to find first one candidate from all of the pool that he's the best candidate, which we give a reward as well. So cope up with the absence and deal with the conflicts. When the employee is absent, we have to deal with the conflict, which is a right when he's on not present in the organization. We have to coordinate with another subordinate to do his work. Next is the promote employees or let someone of them go. HR also look into the matter of promoting employees as well, that whom employee you should want to promote or whom you should let them go from the organization, because some people are not fit for organization, so you have to let them go. And investing in HRP is one of the most important decisions a company can make. After all, a company is only as good as its employees. If a company's employees is not good, the company is not good. And high level of employee engagement can be essential for a company's success as well. And if a company has the best employees and the best practices in the place, it can mean the difference between sluggishness and productivity, helping to lead a company to profitability. Whenever the shareholders invest in the company, they always look first what is how is the management do in the company. If the employees are doing very well, the company is doing very well, and the shareholders will definitely invest in the company because they think it will be profitable company for them. The next is the process to human resource management. There are many steps involved in the human resource management process, and each step needed to be taken in the sequence if we want to arrive at the end goal, which is to develop a strategy that enables the company to successfully find and retain enough qualified employees to meet their company's needs. In the HRM process, there are many steps first of all in the process, and each step to be taken in the sequence only. We can't skip first step and go to the next one. And whenever we're doing HRM, we need to plan a strategy that enables the company to successfully retain and find the perfect candidate to meet the company needs. So the first factor we need is analyzing labor supply. The first step of human resource planning is to identify the company's current human resource supply. In this step, the HR department studies the strength of organization, based on the number of employees, their skills, qualification, their position, benefits, and their performance level. So in this point, the HR manager will analyze the labor supply, who's going to supply our labor. Maybe it's a reference from the internal staff, or we have to recruit from external or the colleges as well. We can do this recruiting from the other source of labor. And second point is forecasting labor demand. The second step requires the company to outline the future of its workforce. Here we have, firstly, we have to do the outline, make outline for the future for our existing workforce. And the HR department can consider certain issues like promotions, retirement, layoff, and transfers. Anything that factors into the future need of a company, which is like when you're making an outline future of the workforce, you have to give them promotions as well, retirement. Some of you retire, some of you have layoff and transfer to another branch as well. And these factors needed to be taken care of for the future needs of the company. The HR department can also look at the external conditioning impacting labor demand, such as new technology that might increase or decrease the need of for the what is the demand in the market. For example, right now, due to the COVID-19, the labor demand in the market is going very up because everybody needs a job. So the HR department will look into this matter, and at that point of time, they will reduce the cost of employees to the organization. They will hire at low packages as well. They might increase or decrease the need for the worker because every day new technology takes place, and every day the new uh, policies are made for the management. So they need to be taken care of. Continuing the process of HRM, another factor is balancing labor demand with supply. And this is the third step in the process is forecasting the employment demand. HR creates a gap analysis that lays out the specific need to narrow the supply of the company's labor versus the future demand. And this analysis will often generate a series of questions. Should employees learn new skills? Does employee does the company need more managers? Do all employees play to their strengths in their current? So in this balancing labor demand to supply, we need always care of should employees learn new skills or not? Because if the demand of the labor is very high, that means the supply is very low. So maybe the employees are not skilled, so they have to learn a new skill. Or does the company needs more manager if the supply is very high and demand is also high? That means the company needs more managers. And do all employees play to the strengths in the current roles? That is also a factor we look in the balancing labor demand. The next point is the developing and implementing the plan. After analyzing all these 3 points, we make a plan and we have to implement a plan in the department. In this point, the first point of HRM process, which is by the HRM, is the recruitment, which may be internal recruitment or external recruitment. After that, we can go to the selection point. Selection point where we select the candidate and hire it. And the next step is the training. Training may be of two types, on-the-job training, off-the-job training. And after that, there will be assessing a performance, which is on the traditional method or modern methods. After assessing, you have to go to the next step is the motivating, which will give rewards to the benefits to the employees, or recognition, which will self-esteem to the self-realization to the employees. Motivation also includes compensating, maintaining labor relationships, healthy welfare and safety of employees, and compliance of labor laws. First point is recruitment and selection. As we all know, the recruitment and selection are arguably the most visible element of HR, which we all have seen that the HR manager means the recruitment and selection of a candidate. And we all remember our first interview. Am I right? Yes, we all remember our first interview. and recruiting candidates and selecting the best ones to come and work for the company is a key HR responsibility. And the people are the lifeblood of the organization, and finding the best fit is a key task. And the second point, the recruitment candidates select the best one to come and work for the company, and this is the key of HR, key responsibility of HR. And people are the lifeblood of the organization. Finding the best is also a key task for the HRM process. The next point is request for a new hires usually starts when a new job is created or an existing job open up. The direct manager then sends the job description to the HR. The HR will start recruiting candidates, and in this process, HR can use different selection instruments to find out the best person to do the work. This includes the selection instruments are like interviews, different assessments, reference checks, and other recruitment methods. In this way, they will recruit a new person for the job. Next point is sometimes when there are a lot of candidates, HR may deploy the pre-selection tools, and these tools help to separate the wheat from the chaff with when it comes to suitable candidates. The successful candidates then continue to the next round when they where they are interviewed and receive a more in-depth assessment. In this point, the first point is the recruitment. When we file application for the recruitment in the government exam, we take an example of government exam here. There are lakhs of application who appear for the first test, and after the first test, they will separate the wheat from the chaff, and there are only some candidates which will go to the next round for the interview or to the more in-depth assessment. Next is performance management. All employees are on the board. Performance management becomes important. Performance management is the second HR basic, and it involves helping people to become their best selves at the work and boosting the company's bottom line. In this point, we can see that with performance manager after selection, assessing the performance is the third step, and only once employees are on the board, their performance becomes an important part for HR managers to taken care of how they're performing, if they're performing enough for the job or not. And if they are promoting very good, they will promote them as well. And usually employees having defined set of responsibilities that they need to taken care of. Performance management is a structure that enables employees to get feedback on the performance to reach to the best performance. For example, our formal one-on-one performance review. These are the parameters on which they will assess their performance. That 360-degree feedback instruments that are also taken into account for the evaluation of their peers, clients, and relationships, and more informal feedback as well. The HR will take both of the feedback of the employee, formally or informally, which will 360-degree give them view of selecting employees that it is going good or not. So moving to the next slide. Usually companies with an annual performance management cycle, which involves planning, monitoring, reviewing, and rewarding employees' performance. The outcome of this process enables the categorization of employees in high versus low performances and high versus low potential. In the last line, there are two words like high versus low performance and high versus low potential. This means when the employee is having high versus low performance, its performance is very high or low, and high versus low potential means when the person who want to do work, they are performing very well, but his potential toward work is not high or low. It is also assessing in the performance management. The next point is successful performance management is very much a shared responsibility between the HR and the management, where usually the direct manager is in the lead and the HR supports. Good performance management is crucial for any HR management process. Employees who are empowered to their full potential improve their efficiency, sustainability, as well as the profit margin of the business. Employees will consistently underperform, may not to be good fit for their role or the company culture. The next point is learning and development. People are the product of the life experience. and the country and the era they grew up in, and the range of cultural influences within the HR. Learning and development ensures that employees adapt to changes in the process, technology, and societal or legal shifts. In this point, they are saying that the people are the product of their life experiences. For example, you student are the product of your life experiences of 20 years, and you all are from different background, different cultures, which having influence on yourself, maybe on your languages, maybe on your wearing clothes and all of this culture lifestyle. You are all from different uh, experiences, but HR will give you learning and development that ensures that employees adapt to the changes in the process, technologies and societal shifts of the society, and which will help the management also to make some culture there which is same for all of the employees. So next is the learning and development helps employees to reskill and upskill, and learning and development is led by the HR, and good policies can be very helpful in advancing the organization toward its long, because learning and development means additional cost to the company, and no company will incur this cost to the employees who will lay off in the future. So whenever they are going for learning and development, the organization is looking for the long-term goals. Next point is many organizations have predetermined budgets for their learning and development efforts, and this budget is then distributed among the employees, with trainees, future leaders, or other high potential often receiving more training opportunities than others. And individuals may arrive at a company with vastly different knowledge and skills. As I said in the second point, is that it costs additional to the organization when they are doing for learning and development of the employee. There are predetermined budgets for the learning and development, and this budget is distributed among to the employees' capability of learning new things or their interest. If their performance is very good, the company will give them more budget to learn something new, which will enhance the company at last and give advantage to the company to reach its goals on time. The next point is learning and development provides employees with a way in which to bridge skill gaps and develop into the leaders based on the people's performance and potential ratings. HR department together with the manager can advise different developments. The next point is compensation and benefits. Another one of the HR basics is compensation and benefits. Fair compensation is a key in motivating and retaining employees. And one of the fundamental of HRM is concerning pay is ensuring equity and fairness. In this point, the HR basics is compensation and benefits, because if they're giving fair compensation to each employee, they will motivate them. But if they give some unbiased compensation to some employees and another one getting a very fair compensation as compared to unfair, so they will create conflict in the organization, and it is a problem for HR, because maybe the employees lay off or file a complaint against them. And one of the fundamental human of HRM is the concerning phase is ensuring equity and fairness. There should be equality and fairness in the pay when you are giving to employees, because you are HR not for only one person, for the whole organization. The next point is making the right offer of pay is a key part of attracting the best talent. This must be balanced with the budget and profit margins of the company. The HR should monitor pay increase and set standards of merit, and HR may also carry out a pay audit or on occasion. In this point, they are making a right offer of pay to the attracting the best talent in the company, because if you are paying low to the talented person, they will not come to your organization or maybe leave very shortly your organization. So you have to make a balance between the budgets and the profit margins, which company allow HR manager to recruit a person, and HR will always monitor the pay increase and set standards of merit, that we should always give promotion to this person who will cross the merit list, or there should be some standards for that. The next point here it is also that the HR may also carry out a pay audit on occasion, that he should conduct a audit occasionally, that who is going in a good way or bad way and correct them on time. The next point is compensation comprises com- compensation and secondary compensation. Primary compensation involves directly paid money for work and which is often monthly salary and sometimes performance-based pay. There are two types of compensation. The first one is primary compensation, which involves directly paid money for the work and monthly salary and sometimes performance-based salary. And second benefit, they all are getting. This can include extra holidays, flexible working times, daycare, pension or company car, laptop. All are the secondary benefits or non-monetary rewards given by the company to the employees to compensate or give benefits to employees. And the goal is here to reward the people in ways to motivate them. Continuing the same compensation benefits. According to the studies, compensation packages have a huge impact on employees' level of engagement, and high compensation provides employees with a sense of satisfaction from the job, incentivize them to perform better, especially when the compensation is directly related to job performance. When you're compensating anybody, any employee, your compensation package should be always satisfaction from the job which they are doing for you, and it is also incentivize them to perform better in the future. Employees motivating performances and overall compensation positively affects the employees in one or more ways of following that job satisfaction, retention, their prospective recruitment, work activity. In these points, they are saying when you are compensating your employees, they will get a job satisfaction. They will retain in the organization for long term. Their prospective recruitment is fulfilled for them, and their work productivity will increase. While compensation is an important in engaging employees, it will not achieve its maximum potential when placed in a vacuum. When you should place the employees in a vacuum, they will not give their full potential to the company. So company needs a good plan and executing strategies to truly allow compensation to fulfill its maximum potential of the employee. So motivating definition of motivating means providing incentives or impelling to actions. Motivating can describe a talk or a post of a message or some kind, and in that case, it is an adjective, and it can also be used as a verb when you find friend says. So thank you guys. This is all for this assignment.